James Lally, 19-85, possession of firearms for certain persons, fleeing. Can you hear me, Mr. Lally?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a lawyer, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, are you going to hire a lawyer or make application to the public defender's office?
I'm gonna try to do both.
All right. Have you made the application yet?
No, sir.
Okay. Fill out an application, turn it in. I'll be here on March 14th at 10 o'clock. You'll have an arraignment and attorney status on that day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nicholas Weeks, 19-86. Good morning. Do you have a lawyer, sir?
When I get out, I'll go speak with Ben Barnett.
Very well. Let's see here. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering a plea of not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's charge of possession of drug paraphernalia as an habitual offender. Your case is before Judge Webb. We're here on March 7th at 9:30 a.m. You may stand aside.
What's going on with my parole? Do you know?
That I don't know, sir. That's with a different group. That's the agency of the state.
Judge, he does have a parole hold.
It does have a parole hold? Okay. All right. Well, maybe they'll contact you about that.
All right.
Tessie Churchman.
Judge, Ms. Churchman is here for arraignment today. We would waive a formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, we'll enter that plea of not guilty.
And Judge, I'm inquiring the state if they know if there's a hold on her. There is, from parole. Judge, it's my understanding there's a parole hold on her, so any issues of bond are probably moot today.
Okay.
And Your Honor, she has an existing case on this docket. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but we'll file a motion to transfer this case to this court's docket.
Well, should I have her come? Are you going to do that pretty soon?
Yes, Amy, we can transfer her pretty quickly.
Okay. We'll send out a scheduling order. I won't have her appear before Judge Webb.
Very well, thank
Judge,
you.
you want to have her appear here on March 14th?
Yeah, that'd be good. March 14th, 10 o'clock. Anything else?
That'd be all, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Samantha Simpson, 19-76. Ma'am, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I think she's appearing here for arraignment on possession of, maintaining a drug premise, possession of controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, endangering the welfare of a minor, string of charges.
Judge, we, excuse me, we'd waive a formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty, and if we could be heard briefly as to bond.
Okay, but before I forget, we'll have her appear before Judge Webb on March 7th at 9:30.
Judge, the state has proposed, her current bond is $50,000. The state has proposed a bond of $10,000 conditioned upon no contact with her children. Is that correct? Miss?
Wait just a second. Miss Simpson, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Judge, I almost hate to do the bond negotiation right now, but it's my understanding she has a DHS case pending. It might be if we could leave the bond at 50, and then the state and I talk during the morning and see if we can come to an arrangement.
Okay. We'll leave it, that's set right now.
Okay, thank you.
You may stand aside, ma'am. Walter Pittaway, 1977, 78, and 79, drug cases. There's a Walter P. Pittaway and a Walter W. Pittaway, so we're taking up 1978, 1979, Walter P. Pittaway. possession of drug paraphernalia and controlled substance. Good morning. Sir, do you have a lawyer? Can you hear me, Mr. Pidaway?
Yeah,
Do you have a lawyer, sir?
no,
Are you gonna hire a lawyer?
I was, gonna get a public defender,
Okay. Have you made an application yet?
I never brought one.
Well, I tell you what, if we can just transfer the cases to my docket and, sir, I'm gonna order you to appear on March 14th at 10 o'clock for arraignment and attorney status. They've got applications there at the jail. Fill it out and, I'll tell you what, is it better if they just keep the application with them? Because when they give it to somebody, then all is lost. And I'm not being critical, that's in every county. Well, anyway, fill out an application and turn it in, and we'll take it up on March 14th, sir. All right, thank you. You may stand aside. Walter W. Pidaway, 19-77. Similar charges, drug paraphernalia, possession with purpose to deliver. Sir, do you have a lawyer?
No, I was gonna hire one when I bond out.
Okay.
I
Very
have
good.
white one. I have
Very
a
good.
parole hold.
Say it again.
I have a parole hold right now. I was
Do you?
waiting to be lifted.
Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering a plea of not guilty to these charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll enter that plea of not guilty. I'll have you reappear on March 14th at 10 o'clock for attorney status. Thank you. Frank McEllier, 19-80,
Yes, sir.
drug paraphernalia, possession of controlled substances, drugs and firearms, firearms for certain persons. Yes. Sir, I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. Let's see. Has he been arraigned? Doesn't appear that he has. How does he plead?
We would waive a formal reading of the charges and enter a plea of not guilty and ask if we can be heard as to bond, Your Honor.
I actually filed a petition, and there's in the works a petition for revocation.
Judge, the state informs that there is a revocation petition soon to be filed
Okay.
today.
Well, his case is before Judge Webb, so I'll have him appear on March 7th at 9:30. Before Judge Webb, to get on his docket.
Very well, Your Honor.
Okay. You may stand aside, sir.
Okay, what I do, Your Honor?
Yeah, appear before Judge Webb on March 7th at 9:30.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm not understanding why these charges are even pertaining to me, because I don't understand what's going on with this, because all I did was go with this old man to help him load some logs up. Apparently they served a warrant on him at his house for that stuff, and I don't understand why I'm in trouble for this.
Well, I don't know anything about it either at this point, but hopefully we'll find out. You need to talk with your lawyer about this, sir.
Okay, I got a lawyer now?
You got one. You got,
Okay,
uh,
so when will I be able to talk to him?
let's see, who would
It'd be
represent-
Mr. Cooper, Judge.
Mark
because-
Cooper will be your attorney, and I assume that he'll be over before long, I would hope.
Okay,
All right.
so it won't do me no good to have a bond right now, because is there something going on with the probation?
Are you on probation or parole?
I'm on probation right
Well,
now.
apparently they're gonna file something to attempt to revoke your probation, so you may wanna consider that before you start making bonds.
Okay, so, all right, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. State versus Samuel Nary, 18-217.
Judge, we're here today. We're set for trial next week. I will inform the court. I'll follow my sword a little bit. I have not had a chance to really fully engage Mr. Nary with this case. He and I have communicated. There's some things I need to talk to the prosecutor about. We'll be filing a motion to continue to the April setting, if the court would set us for a reappearance on March 28th. Time charge to us.
Very well. Trying to look here, one time it said he had hired Mark Cooper to represent him. Did he withdraw?
I thought Mr. Cooper withdrawed around the holidays, Your Honor.
He may have, I don't know. You may stand aside, sir. State versus Sean Rice, 19-63, 19-65.
Judge, Mr. Rice is, I think, here today to get on this court's docket. I have not had an opportunity to visit with this man, and my apologies to Mr. Rice. If the court could,
It's scheduled, so let's see. Okay, June 27th is his next appearance. Is that in both cases, June? Okay. June, we'll leave it as scheduled.
and if we need any additional hearings, I'll make the court aware forthwith.
Very
Mr.
well.
Rice, I'll get over to see you in the next few days.
All right, thank you.
Eighteen 336 Ashley Bartlett. Okay, ma'am, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. She's here for an arraignment. Does she enter a plea of not true at this time?
She does enter a plea of
Okay.
not true, and if I may make inquiry, Ms. Parlett, Your Honor.
Go right ahead.
Ashley, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The state has offered to amend this from revocation to a contempt, and you would serve a sanction of 89 days. Is that something that you would like to do?
No, sir.
Okay.
Listen, I have made a payment on my fines
well-
and my probation fees, and I've also I was homeless and I had nowhere to go, and that's the only reason why I haven't reported. And I now have an address and
Ms.
a place
Parlett,
to stay.
this case is set in front of Judge Webb.
Okay, I'm gonna order her to appear on March 7th, 9:30.
Very
I'll
well.
set the contempt hearing for that day.
Thank you, Judge.
You may stand aside. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
James Lally, 17-290. Mr. Lally, there's been a petition filed to revoke a probationary period. Case is before another judge, Judge Gordon Webb. I'm gonna have you appear before him on March 7th at 9:30 for arraignment and attorney status.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Nicholas Garbinski, 16-11, 19-60.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Garbinski has not been arraigned on 19-60, so we would waive a formal reading of the charges and enter a plea of not guilty on that charge.
On 19-60,
Yes.
okay. We'll enter that plea. What's happening in 16-11?
Judge, the state and I have had some discussions on the revocation matter, but I don't know that we've exchanged proposals or anything along those lines.
When should we set these matters, both matters for hearing?
We'll do March 14th.
Be fine.
March 14th would be fine,
March
Judge.
14th, very well. 10
Yeah.
o'clock, as soon thereafter as we get to, yes.
Before you excused him, Mr. Garbinski asked if the court would reconsider its bond decision from 2 weeks ago.
You know, this is a second abscond. If I can remind the court, this gentleman has left our absence. I'd prefer that he sit in jail till we have an opportunity to have you hear his case.
Let's just leave it where it's at.
Your Honor, his arraignment was in division court.
Do we want to do we want to transfer that or review?
Oh, well, I don't know. How should we do that? What's best for?
We could keep the revocation in this docket and have him appear in front of Judge Webb next week.
That's what we should do, 19-60. We'll have him appear before Judge Webb.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Your Honor, do I need to apply for another application for bond, public defender on that charge or no?
I don't know, does he?
If he has it, Mr. Garbinski, if you haven't applied on the new charge, you need to.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was asking.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Christopher Lord. I'm not sure this is his correct case number, unless I've typed it in wrong.
This would be CR 08239. Good Lord, that's old.
08239.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
And
try
that
that.
That would be true on both of them.
Well, do you have a lawyer, sir?
No, sir.
Are you gonna hire a lawyer?
I filed for one.
You've already filled out the paperwork?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir, may I say something?
Yeah, give me just a second, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Judge Webb's case. I'm gonna have you appear before Judge Webb on March 7th at 9:30. And what did
Okay.
you want to say?
I've been incarcerated for 7 months. I did 2 months in jail and 5 months at a rehab.
Okay,
I've been locked up a while. I've been away from my family for a while.
all right. Well, where were you in jail at?
I was in jail at Searcy County, and then I went to a rehab in Denard, Arkansas.
Okay. Why don't you fill out your application, get you a lawyer, and maybe something can be worked out to get you out of there if you just weren't able to make the payments?
Yes, sir.
Did you know where he was while he was in this rehab?
Do what?
Did you have a probation officer in Searcy County?
Yes, sir. He knew I was there. They're the ones that released me.
Okay.
I was there. I was there in October, and
All right. Did you have felony charges in Searcy County? Were
Yes,
you
sir.
on felony probation?
yes, sir.
Y'all,
No,
say it
I was
again?
I was felony probation out of here, Your Honor.
How did you end up in a rehab in Denard?
Because I got in trouble in Searcy County.
Felony trouble?
Yes, sir.
Well, something's not making sense here, but maybe it will when we look into it. Get you a lawyer, and we'll proceed from there.
Yes, sir.
You may stand aside. Thank you. Stephen, is it Gager or Gogger? How do you pronounce his name, Matt, your client?
Yeah, I got it.
Gager, if my understanding, Your Honor.
Gager? Okay.
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, I'd like to enter my appearance on behalf of Mr. Gager. I'll file it electronically later on today for the record. We'll waive a formal reading of the charges and enter a plea of not guilty to all charges at this time.
Okay, we'll enter that plea and send out a scheduling order, and these are, looks like they're drug cases. Yes, anything else?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. We have an agreement with the state on a bond reduction.
All right.
We've agreed, if it pleases the court, to let him bond at $10,000 cash or surety. The no contact order, which is in place, will remain in effect, and that's in regards to the alleged victims, which are his 2 minor children, which are currently in DHS custody. So there's several layers of protection for the assurance of the honorable court and the state, Your Honor, in reaching this. He's a longtime resident. His family's here. His mother's actually here present today. So he.
Judge, I'm okay with the $10,000 bond. I just want this man to have any contact with his children.
That's correct, Judge. The no contact order stays in place.
Bond be set to $10,000, no contact with the minor children. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, that concludes my business before your honorable court, if I may be excused.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Todd Yoder, 18203, possession of controlled substances.
Your Honor, we're prepared to tender a plea under Act 346. May I approach the bench?
You may.
Judge, the reason for this plea is because the amount of possession was 0.02 grams. In fact, they had to get it with tweezers out of the back seat, so it's real minor. He was in the back seat of his car, but other people had to use the car, but we're still tendering a plea.
All right. Sir, I'm looking at a police statement, excuse me, and some conditions of suspension or probation. Have you gone over these?
Yes, sir.
And do you feel you understand what's in these documents?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charge against you and the range of penalty if you're convicted?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of a Schedule II controlled substance?
Yes, sir.
When you plead guilty, you're giving up your right to a trial and you're giving up your right to an appeal. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Other than this recommendation, this sentencing recommendation, have you been promised anything to get you to change your plea?
No,
Have you been pressured or threatened to get you to change your plea?
no.
Are you guilty of this crime?
I suppose it was in the vehicle. So, yes, sir.
Not good enough. Were you in possession of this drug, sir?
Yes, sir.
You knew it was there and you were...
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't deal with that. I'm not gonna convict him of something he says he didn't do.
I will.
All right, Your Honor. We will converse with the prosecutor and get back to the court. Thank you.
Okay,
If I may have that back.
you may. Autumn Spitzer, 18463. Drug paraphernalia, controlled substances. Autumn Spitzer,
Judge, I think she was one of the folks that was set to appear next week for trial. I haven't had a chance to visit with her, and I've also made the state aware there's some discovery that I need. We'll file a motion to continue if the court will continue the matter to the April setting with a reappearance on March 28th.
I think there's an alias warrant out for her.
How long ago was that warrant issued, Judge?
Well, it just went out on the 27th, let's see, probably a week or so ago, a week or two ago.
Okay. We did not know that.
The case was called on the 14th, February 14th,
All right, very well. Thank you, Judge.
according to this. We've dealt with Ms. McKercher, 19-59, Rusty Stevens. Looks like drug paraphernalia is a charge.
Yes, sir.
Judge, our notes say that he's here for arraignment, so we'd waive a formal reading of the charges and her plea of not guilty.
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not guilty. Looks like he's next scheduled to appear on June 27th at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And you need to see Mr. Pastings as soon as you can, make an appointment to see him. James Dabney, 18159, theft of property, cruelty to animals.
Your Honor, this is a case that Mr. Chisholm and I had talked to you about on Tuesday. Since then, I do have a witness statement, and I have faxed that to the sheriff's office, to Tommy Young, who's the investigating officer on this case. I just got that statement this morning, and in fact, Mr. Chisholm has not even seen it yet. Your Honor, we can recall the case later, or I can move to continue.
Which do you prefer to do?
I prefer to move to continue, and
What do you prefer to do, Mr. Chisholm?
I read the statement, Your Honor. I may be able to resolve it. If you'll pass it for now,
Okay,
let me read the statement with me.
I recall it.